get a mentor maybe for real estate or something like that at any point, maybe for business or something?
No, I pretty much did the real estate myself.
Okay, that's great. Kudos to you. But in general, if you can get a mentor in any type of thing, your chances of being successful are going to be higher, right? So that's one of the things that I think, and people don't really talk about it, that people go to counseling when it's too late. And I've been reading, I read a lot about relationships and human biology and the brain and psychology, because I really want to have great relationships, not just with my husband, but with everyone around me. And like you were saying, men are really simple. Actually, no. Like,
yeah, they moody too. They get a little moody too.
Yeah,
the reasons why we get moody are very, very binary. Like, you can understand, we are hungry. We stubbed our toe. We lost a job. It is not like I didn't have a random feeling of panic because I was driving home at some point and a fucking song came on. That's not how it works. It's not complicated. Do you have an example of how men are complicated?
Well, it's just we all are emotional beings, and I
but ours are not difficult to discern. I tell this to every girl that I meet. I'm like, hey, they're like, are you mad at me? I'm like, I will tell you I'm mad at you when I'm mad at you. You will never ever have to fucking worry. I promise you, it'll never be a mystery. But yeah, I will tell you if I'm upset. Okay, I don't think, especially alpha men, I don't think that they're complicated at all. Do you think they are?
I think certain men to a certain degree. Some of them you could have been, like you said, in a relationship. You said 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you said, oh, I'll kick you to the curb or something. I'm not going to pay the bill for 3 weeks. All right, if you don't want to have sex, right?
I would just be like, hey, let's just not see each other anymore.
I was just using your logic, and because y'all are saying we should be able to withhold sex whenever we want. I'm like, okay, well, I should be able to withhold provisioning whenever I want.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that we should be able to withhold sex anytime. Nobody said that.
A woman shouldn't have to have sex on your terms. Like, it's a mutual agreement. That's what we said.
Yes, you are under zero obligation to fuck the guy.
No, that's not. It's a mutual agreement. Like she said, you want your woman to enjoy it, or you want her to lay there and not have a good time just because you want to get a nut off.
And
like
he said, wait. He said he doesn't enjoy paying bills.
Yeah.
But he still does it in the first place.
Like, bro, like, see, the thing is, again, like when, see, this is what I always do. I love to use female logic back on them, and then you guys realize how ridiculous it sounds, and then you're like, well, wait, no, hold on, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, if you have the ability to pick and choose when you want to get laid, which is cool, fine. I should have the ability to pick and choose when I want to be a man and pay the bills and take care of you.
I think what we're saying is
you're making it black or white.
I think what we're trying to say is that we're not saying that we don't want to have sex with you at all or whatever like that.
Exactly.
Remember, it's life. Things go through things. We have menstruals. People die. We have all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That goes on. So I'm just keeping it real.
Right,
like, I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. Like, let's so for you to say you don't want to pay bills because you don't want to pay a bill because you know what I'm saying. I don't have sex with you. You know what I'm saying? So
no. I'm going too. But here's the other thing. You want to play that?
No, I'm not. I'm just
because you're talking about like, hey, you go through stuff, menstrual cycle, blah blah blah. A man's life is way harder than a woman's life. Way harder.
Yeah, Myron, but you don't have these emotional hormonal cycles going inside of you. Like you don't know what it is to be differently.
I got yours too, by the way. Talk about you guys. I have a hormonal cycle.
No,
just saying.
No, different hormonal cycle. You guys have 24. You guys have a 24-hour hormonal cycle. Your guys move on testosterone, right? Your balls are not sleeping. Your balls are constantly producing testosterone, right?
But Chris, can you check on that?
Okay, go ahead.
They're not sleeping.
No. So, but on the contrary, a woman's hormonal cycle, it's 28 days, and I've had to do a lot of internal work for when I have my period or before my period, then I feel like I'm going crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
But that's
so
not the
I'm
point. We're talking
okay,
about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're talking about 3 weeks and no actual explanation. You just decide to not have sex with someone. I think it's a horrible warning sign. Now, going back to what you said before, why are men complicated like women? I didn't say that.
Okay,
I said anybody else think men are complicated? Because if you think men are complicated, I'm telling you, you're just fucking a dude who's lying to you. That's what's going on. Men are not complicated.
We're deep. What I wanted to say is we're deep human beings. Men or women, we're deep human beings that would go through emotional things that most of us have some kind of emotional trauma because of our parents or because of our environment.
I agree.
Right. So that's what I mean.
Emotional damage.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. But men experience way more trauma. Men experience a way harder life than women do. So if we want to play the sympathy game of who has a harder experience, men absolutely have a harder experience than women, especially in the modern day age. So you know what? Let me not pay the bills because I'm going through trauma.
No.
Wow. So you're weaponizing
You can't win this, bro. Look,
it.
ladies. See, here's the thing. Women lack logically sound skills, debating things in logic, right? I'm just using your same arguments and the functional equivalent back on you, and you guys don't know how to respond because you want to be able to hold all the leverage and pick and choose when the guy fucks and all this. I want to go off how I feel, blah, blah, blah. But if I use your excuse for me not being a man, y'all will look at me like I'm crazy.
No, if you're going through trauma, like if you have a good woman, she should be able to cover the bills if you don't feel like if you can't pay them for some reason. It's a relationship.
How long is that gonna last?
How long are you finna be in your feelings? Like
maybe I might
need any human being has a responsibility of getting themselves out of the dark spot. Because a woman or a man
is that every excuse that y'all have doesn't work because men live harder lives than women, so a nice try. Men have more burden of performance than women, so a nice try. Men have to bring way more to the table than a woman does, nice try. Men have to add more value than a woman does to be in a relationship in the first place, nice try. So all y'all have to do is fuck. And if you don't do that, you're effectively useless.
Myron, you cannot talk about like completely remove the value of a woman like that. Like the fact that I agree 100% that you guys go through hard.
I'm not removing the value. I'm saying your predominant value is based on sexuality. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So if you're saying that if you're saying that like you're sorry, I got stuck.
Yeah, no, okay. When you were waiting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Computer lag. Listen, I already saw.
So what if you're? I remember what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
I agree with that. The fact that men have harder lives, but you cannot just say like, oh, just because I have a harder life than you, then your trauma is not valid. Like it doesn't work like that. So because I have a better life than someone in
your trauma can be valid, but at some point, I've met girls before. I'm like, wow, this girl's great, and then the trauma comes out, and it's like, hey, I don't hate you. You're not a useless person, but we don't need to be in a fucking relationship. So you go that way, and I go this way because I have the freedom to do that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Again, I'm going back to the Jonah Hill thing. Jonah Hill said, "You're doing things I don't like, and I don't want to be with you anymore." And everyone was like, "How dare you tell this woman to not dress like that?" It was ridiculous. So no, he has the right to do that. By the way, if the Jonah Hill thing is bad, does that not make every single Muslim man a problem? Every traditional Muslim man would ask the same thing from his woman. Am I wrong? And I'm saying this as a Christian. I'm saying this as a Christian. Is that not correct? That was always just very confusing to me. Like that means that's the problem. We have the right to leave if we want. Does that make sense? You have the right to have your trauma. You have the right to have your trauma, and I have the right to leave. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I agree. That's why communication is key. You keep it honest in the beginning, but a lot of us don't do that. We lead people on. Yep. That's why we go down the path that we are, like Myron saying. That's why,
it's easier to leave than to work on
every
it.
single syllable.
Women don't want honesty though.
Yeah. It hurts. It definitely hurts.
I'm learning that.
I know you're saying communication, but women
yeah.
don't want the truth.
Yeah, I learn that more and more every day, dude. That is absolutely.
That's why niggas lie, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
I can hear every syllable.
And that's why the shit keep recycling itself. That right there, everyone's lying to each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn.
And in modern society,
I think women lie way more than men do, though.
Yeah, facts.
You disagree? You want to date with a nigga that spent $1,300 at Komodo, and you didn't tell him I'm not gonna fuck you before the date.
Yeah.
Well, it's called giving a person a chance, seeing if we have chemistry first, right? Give them a chance. Some girls just ghost and don't give a damn about you. At least
was there a chance? Was there a chance before?
Yes, you spent $1,300.
No, you felt like
hell, I didn't know the bill was gonna be $1,300.
No,
women lie, men buy, literally.
Oh wait.
I think it's both love.
Everything. Hold on. No, I'm just gonna say this shit. Everything about the female existence is a lie. Makeup. We don't know when you're on your period. We don't know when you're in heat. We don't know if you're pregnant or not. Everything about the female mystique is about fucking lying. Wearing extensions, wearing nails, not showing interest in a guy, going out with guys that you don't give a fuck about because you're trying to get a free dinner, whatever. Like everything about the female existence is a lie to a degree. Women have to be deceptive in a lot of their practices because women are the inferior sex physically. So what do they have to do? They have to be the superior sex mentally and cognitively. So they have to use deception to attract the opposite gender and retain the opposite gender because you guys don't have the strength to beat us physically. So women connive a lot of guys. If I took 100 women, I guarantee 90 of them have probably been on dates and finessed a dude out of that date. However, if I line up 100 dudes, maybe 10 of them had been able to finesse a woman. Men are not able to connive women to the same degree that women connive men. And that's because the whole female psyche is centered around deception. Everything about y'all is deceptive. Makeup, lashes, heels, tight dresses, the surgeries, etc. Boobs. Being on your period. We might not know it. Being in heat. Everything about female, the female psychology is deceptive to a degree. Going on dates with niggas y'all don't like. Like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
So that deception could probably attract somebody, but it's not going to keep anybody.
Yeah, I don't think guys care. I think they just want to hit. Ladies,
You crazy.
ladies, if any of you lied about being on your period, be truthful. At any time, at any point in your life, you have lied. You've lied about being on your period. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, that's crazy.
You can lie about being on your period and get out of a lot of things.
Not just for sex and stuff. Like I lied about being on my period to get out of class.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Not
just to get out of doing that.
You know how I would get them if that ever came up?
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, I'm on my period." I'm like, "Perfect. I don't stop at red lights."
Bro.
What?
Ew.
What?
You gonna fuck a girl on her period?
And then what you have to do is she's actually on her period. What are you gonna do?
But then how would see if you're lying or not?
I didn't understand.
Because if you're lying, you're gonna be like, "Okay, well."
So you basically just want her to show you that she's on her period.
So I'm gonna call you.
Show me blood, bro.
I'm gonna call her bluff.
Show me the blood.
How do you want her to show you?
No. As in, like, if she's like cool with it, then it's like okay. But if she's not, it's like, oh well.
Some girls are okay with fucking on their periods. That's
Hey,
Get your rings.
hey.
Would you be okay with a girl showing you that's her on her period?
No. Again, it's just a statement.
He's just talking in general.
Cause her to either fold or to.
He said if she's down, then that means
like if
she's on her period. If she's not down, then she's not on her period.
But Fresh, I'm curious. Why would a girl go on a date when she's on her period?
Why
There's so much logic in this room. There's so much logic, bro. This is crazy.
Hold on. I'll tell y'all why. Because it's what I said before. Men have to offer value to women, and it doesn't have to be sexual for women to deal with us. But for you guys to offer value, it must be sexual for us to deal with you. That's the difference. That's the difference. So everything about the female psyche is a lie.
Crickets. So
y'all have anything to rebut that?
Yeah. So you talk about women, and I've seen some of your videos talking about high body counts and all these things. So just because you're going on a date with somebody and you're just trying to get to know them and vet them for the future, so that it's just implicit that you're gonna have sex with them.
No, it's not that. I'm saying that women will go out on a date with someone that they don't like and still be able to extract value, but men don't.
To use your question, you said like you're gonna go on a date on your period. That's what you said just now.
Yeah, I didn't say that. No, Chris proposed the question: why do women go out on dates with their period? And then I answered it by saying that because men offer utility outside of sex.
No, but what if you want to get to know the guy? You're in your period, and so you're not gonna go on a date just because you want to get to know the guy. That proves my point. Men offer utility outside of sex. You want to get to know the guy because women enjoy male attention. Women are able to extract value from men even when there's no sex involved. We are not really able to extract value from y'all unless there is sex involved. I mean, I don't know why you guys don't understand this.
Because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
How does it not make sense?
No, it makes no sense.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, how does it not make sense? Please explain.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
How does it not make sense?
It doesn't.
Because
what's your reasoning for it not making sense?
Because you're saying that like the whole point of going on a date is to have sex, like at the end of the date, like
from the male perspective.
Okay, from the male perspective, but as a woman, we go out on a date because we're trying to, like she said, we're trying to get to know you. We're not, I'm gonna go out on a date with him so I can fuck him.
What I just said.
We could get to know you.
Hold on.
If you want to be in a relationship and y'all want, you know what I mean? Like,
did you not hear what I said a second ago? Literally like 60 seconds ago, I said women are able to extract value outside of just sex, attention, etc., which is getting to know the guy. Talking to the guy. Okay. That's what I just said.
Okay.
Are you listening?
Yes, I am listening.
I don't think you are.
Okay.
Because if you were listening, that would have made sense. I wouldn't have to have just repeated myself.
But that just comes to show how different we are. Because for the things that make a lot of sense for you, for us that we're women, and you have had a lot of women that disagree with all these things, it just doesn't make any sense because we're different beings. And that's okay.
No.
That's why God created us this way.
It's because women a lot of times lack logic, reasoning, and deductive problem solving skills. That's the real reason why y'all can't understand what I'm trying to say here. Well, women lack logic a lot of the times.
Definitely, you men are better at that, like 100%. But that's why we are more emotional beings. Like the reason, don't you think that's crazy? Like I didn't invent them myself. I came from God, and all of you came from God, right? So there's a reason why there's a reason why this being created these two beings that are so completely different to join and to be together. Don't you think that's something crazy? Like you were literally polar opposites, but at the same.
Yeah, he's not disagreeing that men and women are different. Why do you think women are more emotional than men? If you were going to guess, like from an evolutionary standpoint, why do you think?
Because we need to bond with our children.
That's exactly right. You need to love your kids to an irrational level, like willing to jump in front of a train. Right. But with men, what do we have to do in order to have kids? We have to compete with other men, which requires logic and reasoning. So it's not that, like, if you look at IQ tests, men and women actually score about the same average, but men are outside the first standard deviation more often. With women, though, like, it's one of these situations where it's not that you're not smart, it's that you're smart, but you have all these added emotions that go with it.
Right.
Why? Because you need an irrational level of like craziness to protect your kids. And that's what we want in a good woman. Does that make sense? But for me, I got to worry about this guy trying to kill my tribe. This guy, I got to make this money. I got to this burden of performance to do this. I have to protect these people. So that's the reason why it's an evolutionary adaptation. That's why we're different.
Here's the other thing too. I give a very logically sound argument for why a lot of you guys are wrong, yet you guys are responding to me with emotion versus being able to back up what you're saying. I mean, this conversation in itself proves that women lack deductive problem solving and logically sound skills.
Or does it prove that we're just different?
Proves that you guys literally don't have rationale and logic.
Or does it prove that we're just different?
We're not arguing that we're different.
Yeah, but hold on. But being different shows that you don't have logic and rationale, which is what I'm trying to say. You're different, but you're different because you don't have logic and rationale.
I mean, if you want to look at it that way,
incredible.
No.
Chats
and fucking incredible, man. But we're different. Okay, yeah, you're different because you don't have logic and rationale. But wait, no, we're different. That's what I'm saying.
No one's arguing like. Okay, we got some more chats here, man.
Yo, man.
You been saying the same shit over and over again.
Yo, man. Yo, thank God, bro.
World's coolest nerd. Ready?
Oh, you got, no. I'm just in my head.
Let's go.
Yo, man. Yo, this is why. Thank God that men are in positions of power and leadership, man. Like women, bro. Like, goddamn, man. If women ran the world, we would be fucking done. Could you imagine? I don't know how I feel about this. I'm gonna nuke Russia. Bro, what the hell?
That's like the simplest thing to say about a woman.
What was that? What?
I feel like a lot of people say that, like, oh, women can't be presidents because all of a sudden our emotions will make us nuke a country. Like, that's not how it works. Like,
it's not far fetched though.
I guess it's just different type of women. I feel like y'all are trying to categorize women as one. There's different types of women.
Yeah, but in general, women don't have the same emotional control that men do.
True. You're saying in general, still generalizing all women in one category.
Women.
Well, we're talking about women.
The world operates on generalities, though.
Question.
That's how the world works. The world works on generalities. Like, human beings are way more similar than you guys think. Only in this crazy first world American society that we live in do we go ahead and run around and say everyone's special. We are way more alike than y'all actually think.
Quick question. You go on a plane trip to Jamaica, right? 2 options for captain: a woman on her period, or just an average man. What would you choose?
Wait, what'd you say?
Can you repeat that?
So we're going to Jamaica on a plane, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 options for a pilot: woman on a period, or just an average guy.
Why does it matter though?
That's what I'm
just curious.
That makes no sense.
I wouldn't matter who my pilot is as long as they can fly the plane and I get
they both
to
can.
A and B safely. Then it doesn't matter who
One
flies
period,
it.
one doesn't.
It doesn't matter
Guy
if
and
she's
girl.
on her period and she drives a plane. What is she gonna have, like a cramp?
She's gonna fuck around. She's gonna land in
your plane.
Y'all just don't know how, like.
All right, you're about to get a heart transplant. We'll make it simpler. You're about to get a heart transplant. Would you prefer your surgeon to be a man or a woman?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
Whoever must board certified.
Doesn't matter. Cool. What about you, Miss Ukraine? Would you prefer a male or a female surgeon if you're going under heart surgery?
Oh, well, I have seen a lot of talented women and a lot of talented and stupid men either. So I know that men also can be emotional, especially if they didn't have a girlfriend for a long time.
Okay.
Like in this case, we have seen recently. So,
or if they invaded your country. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we not talk about that? My bad. I'm sorry. We can't talk about that. I apologize. Sorry.
So which one would you prefer, the male or the female surgeon?
Both are good.
It's like me. She don't care.
I don't care.
They're trying to make a point on this situation. What about you? What would you prefer, male or female surgeon?
Same. Either or.
Yeah.
As long as they got.
As long as they get the job done.
As long as they know what they're doing.
Know what they're doing.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't matter female, male. It doesn't matter.
You say that now, but what is life or death? You were saying that.
Yeah.
No, life or death.